Christmas and welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin the Bastard. With me are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how you doing?
Christmassy, I guess.
Woohoo! David Davis, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, but I'm wondering where my ho-ho-hos are at.
Oh, bring up them ho-ho-hos. So today, I'm excited. We're going to be talking about Mr. Santa Claus, the secular host of Christmas. But before we really get started, I wanted to ask a question and just sort of spring it on you guys. Mike, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Die Hard.
Okay.
The flippant answer.
That's fair. All right. David, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
It's got to be a toss-up between A Christmas Story and Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's really fair. Those are really good choices. I am going to go with Scrooged because it combines my three favorite things: Redemption, A Christmas Carol, and the 80s. Because, fuck, dude.
But
all right.
My real answer is A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. Everybody's is A Christmas Story if you can still stand to watch it because...
I can. I haven't watched in a while.
Man,
maybe I'll do it this year.
You know what? That's a good point because TNT really burned me out for a while.
But then again, you haven't had
24 hours.
You haven't had basic cable in 5 years. So.
You're right. We should watch that. So, guys, first off, before we really get started, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you old goat.
Thank you, because this is going up on Christmas Eve on the podcast, and it's going up on Christmas Day everywhere else. So
on Christmas Day,
Merry Christmas. And today we're going to be talking about the non-secular host of Christmas himself, Mr. Santa Claus. Now, before we get going with anybody else's theories, I want to talk about Mike. Mike, you have got a theory that you want to start us with.
Well, so I've been racking my brain trying to come up with...
Oh, I fucking bet you have.
A theory, since this is kind of, not normally the way I think. So I was like, what could Santa be? So we know he's immortal, right?
Sure.
And he's been around for quite a long time. Mm-hmm. So obviously Santa is a Highlander.
That's where I was going to go.
I mean,
for a while.
He has that sword. Wait a minute, he doesn't really have a sword.
No. If you watch...
there's a candy cane.
There's all the other immortals he killed.
Yeah. Well, if you watch Narnia, he has a sword.
Well,
that's right.
That's not canonical.
Sure it is. Why not? Why can't it be?
Santa Cannon.
Serious business. Cannon.
But
so he's one of the Highlanders. He's an immortal from Highlander, and he fought Connor McLeod.
It sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's my question. Are you using Highlander as a pejorative, or are you saying that he's literally from the Highlander franchise?
Oh yeah, no, he's an immortal that cuts the heads off of other immortals to.
So here we are
to gain the quickening. But the more I say it out loud, the more I think about it, that sounds really dumb.
It is kind of a dumb idea.
I like it. Let's dive into this, please.
I really kind of like that idea, though.
Let me think. I think I'd come up with a better one.
Okay, but I do like that idea. Now, my idea, of course, we'll go ahead and start with me after that, is I think Santa may be a tulpa. Now, we start with the modern...
What is a tulpa, Kevin?
A tulpa is a... what's the term I'm looking for here? Is basically a thought
entity?
Form energy ghost. It is it's an entity created by the mind to the point that it can exist in the physical universe and eventually become self-sustaining. So Santa, through the belief of myriad numbers of children over the past several hundred years, has become a living entity that is still manipulated by the mental projections of people all over the world. So, and the reason I say that is because he has evolved since, I'm going to go with Victorian England. Yes, there was Sinterklaas over in Germany, but let's go with the fact that Santa, when they first really came up with Santa back in the Victorian England, like if you look at all the old Victorian Christmas cards, Santa is like grabbing children and shoving them into his sack, which leads me to believe they had the idea of Santa but didn't really know what to do with him.
Well, you know.
I mean, it's like, okay, we got this guy, and he's got a sack, and children are involved.
Why did you just shove them in the bag?
Just shove them in the fucking bag and take them home.
Maybe he's saving them from a lifetime of coal mining.
You know what? He's probably saving them from textile plants.
Yeah.
What's to be done with this right jolly old elf?
What is to be done with this fat man? So, and the thing is, as he evolved, you know, first off, they took all these negative elements, like him kidnapping children that were bad, and spun them off into Krampus, which we'll get into later. All these negative helpers, which sort of purified the idea of Santa into a right jolly old elf, like said. And, you know, he didn't steal children. He just brought wonderful things to children. And that brought, like, the idea of, oh, maybe he's riding this sleigh full of reindeer. And then we add Rudolph in the 1920s, and now Rudolph is accepted as real, as part of the canon.
Well, you know, I mean, where his origins are from, a sleigh pulled by reindeer, I guess, isn't too far out of the question. You know, in the Nordic countries.
Sure. Yeah. It's snowy. Why not?
Sleighs. Lots of sleighs.
But, I mean, this really ties into the idea that Santa is... Well, first off, he's indestructible. Like, you cannot get rid of Santa. Nothing ever destroys Santa. If you watch
like
Scrooge...
a Highlander.
Yeah, okay, that's
Put him on the
fair.
hydraulic press channel.
No,
Will it blend? Santa Claus edition.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, no! But, like, seriously, he's malleable in, like, the very specifics of his nature, but he's indestructible. Okay, here's a question. Do you remember being told about Santa?
Yeah.
No. I remember being told, you know, when they confessed he didn't exist.
Okay, fair, but, like, I was never told Santa existed.
Yeah, you were.
And I'm sure he was told to me, but, like, on some level, like, you knew Santa existed because you woke up and there were presents there.
So I'm sure it just boils down to you being told about Santa, you know, when you're so young to not even comprehend.
Before I came online, yes, I understand the idea.
There's also that pop culture osmosis. Like,
too.
you know, in my family, there was the tradition to read The Night Before Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Well, I mean, I watched the Rankin Bass animated version with the mice, but yes, I mean, we all knew of Santa from all that. We did get him from osmosis. Mm-hmm. But the point is, that's what I'm saying. The tulpa was reinforced. You know?
Right.
Like rebar and concrete.
Or like Jesus.
In concrete.
And Jesus
like
and concrete. Jesus, fruitcake, and concrete. So, but the point is, Santa... It's one of those things maybe you're not even told about, you just sort of absorb and you accept it. Like you accept that tiny lie to accept the big lies of the world, like justice.
Or you accept that, you know, growing up you're just Republican when it turns out you could think for yourself.
I'm not going into that. We do not tackle political stuff until we come to conspiracies. Anyway, the point is, Santa has evolved over the years, and I think that, like, all the negative things were spun off into Krampus and his various helpers, like Swarty Pete, which we're not really going to go into because I really don't want to attend to that, but... you know, Santa became this pure thing that rewarded good children. And the lump of coal, like, that's not that bad, really. And here's another question.
Well, you know, like they say in Scrooge, a lump of coal, or not Scrooge, what was it? But, you know, a lump of coal is very functional. You know, you can do all kinds of shit with coal. Keep you warm, cook your food.
Sure.
coal may not be sexy or exciting, but,
You get the functional present.
Yeah.
Instead of the fun present.
It's thoughtful. It's like a pair of socks.
Or like a...
right.
What was it? What did they use in Scrooge's? Like some cut of beef or meat.
Oh, right. No, veal.
Attack?
It was veal.
Yeah, it was
veal and Scrooge. And it was like, that was a thoughtful present. But the other thing is that canon of Santa as a tulpa grows. We get new characters, like Rudolph. Rudolph was a fucking country song by Gene Autry, but now everyone accepts that Santa leads the 8 other reindeer that we've had for like 200 fucking years. Now there's a red-nosed fucking X-Man leading the reindeer. The point is, it's malleable but indestructible. Santa exists, but he can be affected by the belief of everyone else. He is shifted by the vision of everyone that believes in him.
The Coca-Cola Corporation.
Oh my God, you will not believe. Totally. Like, we didn't have a solid interpretation of Santa until the Coca-Cola ads.
Well,
that's just a given.
That's just, the fact of modern-ish media.
Well, I'm going to be the actually guy here. I'm going to be the actually guy.
Okay. Are we going with Thomas Nast?
Well, okay. I've wanted to correct you on a couple of things so far. I'm not going to until we get to my part.
Go ahead.
But it's kind of an exaggeration that Coca-Cola invented Santa. They popularized the image, but the red coat, the white beard, that existed prior.
That was all Thomas Nast, who was a cartoonist in New York that also was very against corrupted government with Tammany Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you could just say that the Coca-Cola stuff just solidified and gelatinized the more myriad interpretations of Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is a product of the world vision of Santa, and Coca-Cola solidified that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's a given. That's how that
I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, I totally agree with you that, it's an evolution. It starts with Tom and Ass. It goes to Coca-Cola. It goes on from there. Eventually, Santa may have a fucking teleporter. We don't fucking know. My point is, Santa is... And the other thing, it's like Tulpa, because Santa has become an existing corporeal being throughout the world, but is affected by everyone's perception of him. He can evolve. The only way to really kill Santa is to sit there and shoot him with mind bullets, which means like 1,000 people sitting there going, "Go away! Go
it's
away!"
Like that psychic. It's like that psychic episode of South Park where all the psychics are having a fight.
Yes.
No.
No, go away! Go away! I don't like you, Santa. Go away! So, and that's my opinion on Santa. That's how I see it. I think that Santa exists in the physical sense that he's like a fairy. You have to keep clapping.
I like that. It's cute.
It is, and I think it really kind of works in the same way that Men in Black work. In that, yes, we've created this horrible tulpic beings that come and fuck with us when we see UFOs, but also have some presence.
Just have a pen to see how Santa reacts to that pen.
Okay.
That's a nice pen. Can I have that pen? What is that pen? What does it do? What is that pen?
Oh my God, I want to wait up and see if Santa comes down my chimney and I can give him a pen. That would be great. David, thank you. I've got a plan for Christmas now. All right, I've got my thing. Mike, you've had a little bit of time to think.
Yeah, so I think I've got something new now.
Okay,
right.
So what have you got, buddy?
We know Santa's immortal.
Okay, right.
And he fulfills desires of children.
Right.
He has some form of magic.
Okay.
He's a jinn.
Like
a genie.
Like in the Muslim sense.
Yeah, I mean he's
an evil spirit.
Well, not evil, but
they're usually demons.
Well, but so he fulfills wishes.
Okay, so he's a djinn in the I Dream of Genie sense of the term.
Got bored.
But are they monkey paw wishes, though? Does it inevitably backfire?
Damn, right.
Man, yeah, no, that's a really good point, because wishes never work.
Yeah, they always have some kind of gotcha, don't they?
I wish I had a toy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The kid still dies of cancer.
Yeah, oh my god, fuck.
Damn it.
Fuck,
all right,
I need more booze after that.
All right.
No,
Okay, I think I come up with something. Just give me a little more time.
Okay, but it seriously is like, oh, you want the train set? Your parents are dead. So, David,
You want a dog? Well, it has no legs.
my God, it's a rolling wiener dog. That's all Santa brings.
I want the family to be together for Christmas. Okay, well, here's a car bomb. You're all together in heaven.
Oh, you want to be together? We're all buried in the graveyard. Ho, 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 ho.
Monkey Paw Santa is my new favorite thing.
I agree that it's the best fucking idea.
We should make that, the new.
Oh, yeah. No, that is like the Victorian Santa right there, man. So, David, you wanted to tell us about Santa's best friend and tool, right?
Right. So,
let's talk about Krampus.
Yeah. So here's the thing about the holiday season. A lot of us focus on like the cheery togetherness part of it, but it's also kind of a dark season, isn't it?
It is. I mean, like when you go back to like the general origin of Christmas, we're basically talking about a 5-day delay of the the winter solstice. Mm-hmm. For pagans, and it was a time of darkness. It was a time of fearing the night, which is why candles are such an important part.
Right. So if you think of the figure as Santa Claus as kind of like the manifestation of the good of the season,
right,
then you obviously have to have a dark counterpart, and that is Krampus.
Yes, which Krampus. Oh boy, what a great guy. Let's go into him.
Krampus is fucking metal, dude. I love Krampus. Yeah. So I kind of wrote a little mini essay here.
We all went into this like fairly blind, and David wrote 3 pages. So let's go into that.
All right, so I'm going to kind of read through. Please go ahead and chime in, ask questions, make observations, okay?
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be great.
So, Krampus has been on the rise when it comes to, like, contemporary Christmas culture in the 20th century.
Yeah.
But, the hellish Christmas beast's origins date back centuries. So when you were talking about Santa Claus as being, like, Victorian period, that may have been Santa Claus, but
yes,
the Santa-like figure extends much further back.
Yeah, we go to Sinterklaas and St. Nicholas himself.
Right, and I'm going to talk a little bit about St. Nicholas in this whole thing. But,
of course you will.
What I want to talk about is that, like, Krampus is not a singular thing. There are all these different regional variations on the same principal idea.
Yeah.
And then, while not every Bavarian area nation celebrates Krampusnacht, which is the night of Krampus.
Which is awesome.
An entity that we can reasonably dub as Krampus exists in multiple cultures.
Yes.
Now, before we begin, I just want to cite my sources. I'm not going to go very deep into here. We could probably do an entire episode on Krampus, but I'm going to be using History.com and National Geographic magazine.
Yeah, 2 of the best sources.
All right, so before we begin, how would you describe Krampus?
I would describe Krampus as the large goat demon man that comes and takes your children, shoves them in a basket, beats them with sticks, and makes them wish to God they'd been good. Mike, how about you?
So I thought he was more kind of like Satan-y, goat, satyr-y, where he, kind of was half man, half goat.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, still, grab children. I don't know if it's just bad children or children in general. I think good children have to fear Krampus.
Right, so you both are pretty much on the money, and it again, there's dozens of variations on Krampus, right, because every single little Bavarian country has their own variation. There's variations within each country. But, typically Krampus is described or viewed as a half-man, half-goat figure.
Yeah.
Oftentimes he has a long venom-like tongue, making him an inevitable villain for a future Marvel movie.
That's just fucked up, dude.
makes him very popular with the ladies or guys. I
hell
know that way.
Talking about that, actually.
Everybody loves that tongue.
He's often depicted with a chain like Ghost Rider. He has a wooden back on his back. It's basically just a basket in which he spirits away naughty children. And he has a bundle of reeds that he carries with him to slap around children to punish them.
Fuck you, kids. Fuck you. Ha! I'm Krampus.
So, what I described is basically like the universal image of what we assume is Krampus, especially here in the U.S.
Thanks to horror movies.
Right. So he's typically seen as the dark counterpart to St. Nicholas, who is a figure we typically attribute as the precursor to Father Christmas and today's Santa Claus.
Right.
With that being said, Krampus is just a variation on an existing theme of, the duality of the Christmas season.
Right.
You also have other figures that are like him. So you have the Germanic Belsnickel.
Belsnickel's a great name.
Okay, and I'm going to butcher this one. Neckrepecht.
Neckrepecht.
And they're part of that, what you call, like, St. Nicholas's wacky holiday entourage. Because that was his thing. Nicholas would come to town with his little monster buddies.
What's up? St. Nick's here. I got my posse. Fuck y'all. Yeah,
that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, no, he's just got like this. It's like, hey, I got presents. If you ain't been good, fuck you. I've got my bitches. That will be, man, we gotta bring that shit back.
Yeah, there's a lot of traditions here that I'm going to talk about that I think we need to bring back.
Oh, so yes.
It's going to take way too long to explain the pagan roots of the holiday season and how all these characters fit into it.
We'll do that next year because there's like the fucking Christmas cat and all this crazy shit.
Yeah, the Yule cat. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of summarize briefly by quoting a little passage here from History.com. So they write, Krampus and St. Nick's other bad boys have their origins in pagan celebrations of the winter solstice.
That sounds like a boy band already. Jesus.
The figure of St. Nicholas is based on St. Nicholas of Myra, who is believed to have lived in the 3rd or 4th century and who is known for many miracles.
Like bringing prostitutes back to life.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with a lot of the saints.
I'm familiar with St. Nicholas. He threw money in to help prostitutes. He brought children and prostitutes back to life. It was a whole thing. And he threw it through the chimney. That's where that came from. He threw it through the chimney.
Oh, interesting. That's...
Yeah.
Huh. So, as cultural transmission and appropriation end up being an inevitability in human history, these characters later became part of the Christian traditions. And, St. Nicholas would visit children on, December 6th to reward the children.
Mm-hmm.
So, around December 5th, his menacing partner, St. Nicholas's menacing partner, would visit kids to punish them. So in Alpine Austria and some parts of Germany, this day, the December 5th, was known as Krampusnacht or Krampus Night.
Okay, Krampusnacht is like the best band name.
It really is.
Oh my god, I want to be a member of Krampusnacht.
Now here's why Krampusnacht is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The usage of Krampus in such celebrations such as Krampusnacht is similar to other supernaturally tinged dark celebrations aimed at children, such as the Japanese Namahage. Have you ever seen the Namahage before?
I don't know if I have, but it sounds familiar. Please explain.
So it's a tradition in certain rural parts of Japan where you have people wearing Oni masks, wearing heavy straw coats, and they come to the door of the home and they beat on the door frame, make roaring sounds to scare the children into being good.
Ooh.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Right? So that kind of idea is similar to what's going on with Krampusnacht, because the idea is that these children were to be scared into good behavior through parents dressing as frightening and monstrous figures, which is cool as shit.
Yeah, holy shit, yes!
Now, the best part about... Now, the best part about this is the adults get something out of it as well, because many of the adults doing this were the fathers of the children who'd get shit-faced at the local beer garden and then chase their children around wearing Krampus outfits.
Oh my god! Jesus. It's awesome, and now I want children! Oh my god!
Like, literally the only reason I would have children is to chase them around dressed as Krampus, because that's fucking funny.
I'll be good, or I beat you with sticks and stake you in basket.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
Right. So, here's the thing. Like, sometimes Krampus will be with St. Nick, sometimes he won't be, sometimes Krampus will be on his own, but a lot of times they're together playing, like, the good cop, bad cop routine for the local children.
Dude.
So... Yeah. You know, St. Nicholas dressed in resplendent robes, you know, to treat the children. Meanwhile, Krampus appears as a BDSM satyr and deals with the bad children.
Can I just say, like, okay, him being associated with Santa, it's like, okay, good cop, bad cop. Can you imagine him not being associated with Santa? It's just like,
I'm here on my own volition. Bring me your children. I will beat them with sticks.
It's just like, imagine your first Christmas, and it's like, you know, December 5th, which is Krampusnacht, and they don't have him associated with St. Nicholas.
Oh my god. Well, you stole your brother's soap, so now you get to be beaten with sticks by the satyr god. Oh my god. That's awesome.
So, I'm sorry, this
it's
is so
not
good.
awesome, but I love it.
Now, one of the ways in which you can appease Krampus in some traditions...
appease Krampus?
Yeah, you can appease Krampus, and that's to offer him schnapps or other traditional pagan spirits of Germanic folklore.
Alright, seriously, you gave me booze if I was dressed as Krampus? Yeah, I'd go the fuck away.
No, that's probably, he's probably out to get a buzz on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, seriously, it's like, if you don't give me liquor, I beat your children. That's great.
You know, and then there's all these different variations on this. So, you know, in Croatia, St. Nicholas will leave children with a golden branch as a reminder to be good throughout the year. Krampus will take the presents and leave the kids with a single silver branch. So, you know, it's just various little regional differences.
Can I just say I'd rather have Legos?
No, you get the silver branch.
Shit. Mike, how about you? Legos or a silver branch?
I don't know. Is it like real silver?
That I could not figure out, but we'll say yes.
You know what?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you could sell the branch, either way, you're good.
So, have you ever seen those... Have you ever seen those, like, fucked up and hilarious postcards depicting Krampus carrying off children?
That is my entire life at Christmas time right now. Mike?
Yeah.
You've seen them?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so that's actually a very important tradition that we're going to get into.
Yeah.
So we're all familiar with the Christmas card.
Yeah.
Gentle, lovely little cards depicting picturesque Christmas moments. Sometimes they might get a little naughty, but they're generally kind of cute. You might get that kind of like saucy one with like the dog showing its butthole wearing a Santa hat or something like that. We've been there. We've been in the Christmas card aisle.
No, seriously. I've been looking at Victorian Christmas cards lately, and my absolute favorite is just the picture of a dead bird that says, Happy Holidays.
So, you know, Krampus has his appeal. You look at Krampus and you're like, that's fucking cool, right?
No, shit, yeah, dude.
So, with the availability of cheaper printing, it resulted in a tradition of horrifyingly hilarious and spicy seasonal cards, traditionally known as Krampus card.
Do you like Krampus's tongue? Krampus will take this tongue to your butthole. Lean over.
That vibe is actually on some of those cards.
That's the whole reason I said it, man.
Yep. So, you know, Krampus is undoubtedly a kinky figure, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
He looks hilarious and horrifying, so he kind of became this common figure for these seasonal cards.
Uh-huh.
They were like those kind of like feel-bad, cathartic cards that represent the flip side of the dreary winter season.
Yes.
You know, and the cards would often depict Krampus carrying off kids in his basket, leading them off with chains, or just stuffing them into a sack or, that sort of thing.
And let me interrupt before you go on with that. The reason I brought up the whole separating Krampus into his whole thing was because a lot of early Christmas cards actually showed St. Nicholas stuffing children into cards, and then after that they started using Krampus. And that's why I was like, well, we separate the evil from St. Nicholas. And I just wanted to throw that in there because, like, that
Right.
I made that connection while doing research this morning to scar people I know on social media.
So yeah, like some of the traditions showing Santa like putting the kids in the sack or whatever, or we'll say Father Christmas.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a Victorian British thing. But Krampus, once the printing press and it becomes easy to print this stuff, you'll see Krampus kind of make his way into Europe and kind of you get the Santa becoming like the fully nice guy.
Yeah.
So, it's not just that Krampus is a menace to children everywhere. He's also a horny goat.
In fact, they sell his weed in certain gas stations in the United States.
Man, we should mark it up like a
my God.
Krampus Bonerton or something.
Krampus Boner knocked.
We'll give you a real Krampus knocked.
Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, let's go on with him being a horny goat. I love this.
Right. So many of these Krampus carton, and that's Krten.
Not like Mario Kart. This is Krampus cards, basically.
Krampus would be a terrifying addition to Mario Kart.
God, that would be awesome. Him on, like, a fucking cart pulled by, like, goats. Just
be even more horrifying than Wario.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just hear him hit the boost and blah, blah, blah.
So about these Krampus carton.
Right. So many of these Krampus carton would depict Krampus in compromising situations and pursuing women.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my.
Yes. Sometimes these would be even kinkier.
Ooh.
Depicting Krampus as a tall, buxom woman who would carry small men in her sack or whip them with reeds.
Anybody else, like, rock hard right now?
Nope.
Oh, just me?
Yep.
I'll join the club.
Hey,
I'm into that tall woman carrying me in a sack. That sounds
all right,
great.
me, Krampus, and lizard chicks. I'm down.
Well, we'll find something that makes Mike horny eventually.
Oh, yeah. Eventually we'll find, like, the Mike Horny thing.
So there's this tradition of these really fucked up cards depicting Krampus.
Which is awesome. I want to bring them back. Hardcore.
Yeah, I think we should do, like, next year, like, do our own Krampus card or something.
Oh, yeah, no. I found a great card while doing research this morning of just children being hauled off by horrid bat creatures that just said season's greetings. I was like, what the fuck?
That's amazing.
I know.
So I want to ask you guys, when did you first hear about Krampus? What was your first exposure to him?
Okay, me personally, I want to say it was like during the 80s in a documentary about Santa Claus that was tied into the 1986 Santa Claus the movie. Of course, they also talked about Swarty Pete, but we're not going to go into him.
He's a next year thing.
Oh, he is a next year and, like, racially sensitive thing. But, like, that's why I first learned about Krampus was during that. When I learned that, like, in Europe, they had, like, alternatives to coal. Mike, how about you?
I'm pretty sure you told me about him.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit. Okay, I feel
Just
bad.
imagining that conversation. It's like, hey, Mike, you want to hear about the Christmas fuck goat?
You know, the bad thing is I can't actually say that's not how I broached the subject.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
It really?
Yes.
You want to hear about evil Santa?
It was probably more like just, hey, Mike, there's this thing called Krampus that, like, gets the bad children.
What, were you warning him or something?
I probably. I was like, Mike, you better not be a shit or you're going to get, like, raped by the horny goats.
You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out.
Better watch the cornhole, Mike.
You better watch out. You better watch your cornhole.
God.
Krampus doesn't care where he crams it.
Krampus cramming.
Oh man,
Oh, God.
that toe's got reach. That's for sure.
What was that, Mike?
Might I also say that Krampus just sounds like what happens to me when I eat too much bread. I get Krampus.
I don't know. I get Krampus when I eat too much cheese. And I bought a cheese. I bought a cheese advent calendar, and let me tell you something. That has been
Too much cheese?
too much cheese. So, David, why don't you tell us about your first experience with Krampus?
So yeah, what I'd like to do is, so my first exposure to Krampus as a concept was the Venture Brothers Christmas special.
I remember
where the
that.
Krampus proceeds to butt rape Dr. Venture.
Well then.
I love that episode so fucking much because I was like, holy shit, it's Krampus, and he's doing his thing!
So the idea was that like Krampus was strictly like a European thing for a long time until about the mid 2000s. Mm-hmm. That's when we start kind of filtering Krampus into our own Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
And many sources are kind of telling me that like graphic designer Monte Beauchamp published a book that was just a collection of these different Krampus cards.
Now, when you look up Beauchamp, be sure to look up Monty Beauchamp and not Bianca Beauchamp, because that is a totally different thing involving latex.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
All right.
All right.
Put out all the places to find this stuff.
Yeah.
So today Krampus has just kind of become this tradition for Americans now too.
Which is great.
It's just kind of like this ironic holiday display, and then you have all of these Krampus-themed movies that have been made in the last 20 years.
Man, we love Krampus as a horror movie idea at Christmas now.
And I could probably talk a lot more about Krampus because, I mean, there's so much that I could talk about here, but I don't want to spend too much more time on this because I'm dying to hear what Mike has to say about his theory.
It's coming along. I'm not formulating.
Well, what we're going to do is next year we're going to do like a whole episode at Christmas of non-Santa related stuff like the Yule Cat, the Yule Goat, and we'll talk more about Krampus then.
Right.
And we'll do some research into other Christmas traditions that are not Santa related. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about that, to be 100% honest.
Right.
And David, thank you for bringing us so much information about Santa's dark symbiotic twin from hell.
Right. And I think that's part of my theory as to like what Santa is. He is an element of nature that has two halves.
I agree. I feel like Santa, the whole idea of Christmas, really, you've got the Christian goodness and you've got the pagan darkness thing, and I think they're like two sides of the same coin, and they're both necessary. I think like we've had Santa on his own too long, and children need to fear the horrid goat thing. And if not,
I just looked in the outline and I saw that little joke you put in there.
Which one was that?
At the bottom of the outline, it made you look.
That is not me. That is Mike. Mike.
Oh, I got Mike.
Look, son of a bitch. Anyway, point is,
I was wondering if someone would find that.
I really,
because it's in one point font.
Oh, you got me, Mike. You really got me there. But I really think we need like an alternative to Santa, because I think America in general has become too, Santa's got to bring me what I want, or he'll bring me coal. Nobody brings me coal. Yeah, what if the goat thing shows up and does horrible things to your bottom?
Okay.
Damn, Mike, just fucking shoot me down like that.
No, I'm just
Anyway,
it's like I don't want the horrid goat thing to do things to my bottom.
I'm just saying,
consent,
like,
at least.
there need to be real alternatives, not just coal. I mean, like, drag you off in the basket with switches. We need to bring that back. Now, that being said, now that me and David have said this, you've had plenty of time to think, because let's talk about your theory on Santa, because you have not told me a think about this developing idea?
So I've thought long and hard about it. So
Long and hard.
So not only does Santa have to be immortal, and have to have some kind of power, either from himself or maybe,
totems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
objects of power. He probably had a lot of time to collect this kind of stuff.
If you're a fan of the Wheel of Time, Terangriel, if you will.
But yeah, any thing like that. He has a following. He's gathered time to gather, so he has to have been around for a long time, probably even longer than he's been doing this kind of stuff.
Sure. So you're saying he's had time to gather his marshal his troops.
Yeah. So. And also, he seems to have. You have to think, what is his purpose? Why is he doing all this? He can't just be for being
presents?
nice. No, I mean, why?
This better not just be a Time Lord joke.
No, why is he?
I don't think Mike
trying
has
to
it
bring
in him
joy
to do
to
that.
all these children, and especially Christian children,
Okay.
because it's pretty much Christianity here we're talking about.
Yeah, no, Santa's
That's
not known
because
for
he's
bringing
trying
to
to
the
atone-
Jewish children.
He's trying to atone for a sin.
Wait.
He is Cartiphilus, the wandering Jew, trying to make amends and finally be able to die for Jesus to forgive him.
I cannot explain the level of face palm I'm experiencing right now.
No, it makes sense. He I mean, why
look,
else?
you
Because
were-
he
okay.
was so he was baptized. So he became Christian. He was
When was he
rebaptized as Joseph by Ananias as Joseph.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You've done way
Yeah.
more research
And
into
so-
this than I did. That's amazing.
So Saint Nicholas was alive between 270 AD and 343.
Okay. So you're saying that was Cartiphilus.
So that was Cartiphilus. Yes, he tried to be the good person, and it just
And,
his reach wasn't big enough. So he
helping
had to,
children and prostitutes.
so he had to go because Jesus liked prostitutes.
Sure, yeah, okay.
so
he
he
liked
realized-
a lot of people.
He realized after that short stint, he had to go bigger. It had to be more than just a little town. So he built it up over a few
Hundreds of years.
Decades, maybe even a century or two. Maybe he had a little misstep there as the Count Saint Germain.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the Count Saint Germain was just like
A stepping stone.
Attempt,
Yeah, he's trying to gather his resources.
and he realized it didn't work.
So Saint Nicholas, Saint Germain. Why was he called Saint Germain? Maybe he just picked up that affliction. He was like, I'm a saint, and he just steamrolled it. Now he's Santa Claus.
So you're saying
Yes.
that Santa Claus, the jolly fat Christian man,
Yes.
is a guilty Jew that mocked Jesus.
He's not a Jew anymore because he was baptized. Therefore, he's Christian.
David, say something, please.
Tell me wrong.
Honestly, it sounds like the ramblings of an insane person, but I'm into it.
The bad thing is see, I didn't know this was exactly where you were going. I thought you had a totally new idea.
No,
But
I just
when you
connected
said
dots.
this the first time, and I just assumed you dropped it because you were saner than the two of us, I was like, shit, that makes sense to me. Also, can we talk about God damn it, Mike. This makes a lot of sense. I hate that.
Kind of mad about it, yeah.
I'm kind of mad about it because, God damn it, dude. You came up with something that makes a lot more fucking sense than most people's theories on anything. Flat Earth? No. Santa Claus is the wandering Jew. Yeah, all right, I'll buy that. Yeah, okay.
Questions, comments?
Yeah, okay, comment.
Ow!
I don't know. Can make me defend my thesis.
Okay, shit, I don't know how to make you defend a thesis like this. It's like,
How does Krampus fit into this?
yeah, how does Krampus fit into this?
He's had a lot of time to make some enemies. Krampus
Or friends.
isn't his. Krampus is his arch enemy. Well, no, he's helping him, isn't he?
Yeah. Good
Did you
cop,
miss
bad
my
cop.
sermon?
Well, no, because Santa wants even the bad kids to be good, whereas Krampus just wants to remove the bad kids.
No, Krampus wants to punish the
Punish
bad
them.
kids.
Santa wants them to want to be better. Therefore, it's like, I'm not going to punish you, but see what happens if you are good. Whereas Krampus is like, you're bad, you'll always be bad. I'm just going to whip the shit out of you.
in my basket. Blah, 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 blah.
See, Krampus is the stick. Santa Claus is the carrot.
All right, so the problem with this whole fucking theory, Mike,
Yeah.
the problem is I can't argue this because it's no less batshit insane than anything we've discussed.
Well, true.
Especially mine with the whole Santa is a thought form energy ghost created by humanity in general.
What if Santa's an alien?
Oh
no,
man,
it
I
went
was
there.
hoping somebody would bring that up.
I didn't
What if
think
he
about
is
that.
an alien?
You did see a Christmas tree fall out of a UFO once.
Fuck
yeah.
you, that wasn't a Christmas tree, god damn it. Damn, it's like, how many episodes has it been? You've been fucking riding me about this fucking Christmas tree.
David, I will have to defend him on this, because if that was a Christmas tree, it would have to be a really long extension cord.
Fuck you.
Imagine aliens could invent a very long extension cord.
What if it
though.
was hooked to a car battery in just like speculative world?
Because a car battery doesn't output 110 volts,
What
which
if they
the
had
modern
a-
domestic
what if they had an
Christmas
inverter?
lights need. What year was this?
1987.
Oh wow! So this was kind of those. This would have had to have been those big Christmas lights.
Yeah, no. Well, no, we had the little ones. The thing is, we had
They're
big
still-
ones from like the 60s, but we also had like modern ones because every time my dad bought a new set, we had to buy a new set at Christmas because they went out.
But still, they're little incandescent lights. They draw a lot of power. Talking about
I'm glad we're digging deep into this because this has been bugging me for a long time.
Really?
100,
Has it?
120 watts. Depending on the
Yeah,
length
but still,
of
could
the
like
lights.
okay, hypothetically, if a UFO threw a car battery and an inverter and a Christmas tree with 1987 style incandescent lights out of it, would I have been able to mistake it for a UFO?
Well, yeah.
Now we're talking about a UFO trying to
Depends on how close you
me into believing that a Christmas tree was a UFO. We're talking about a UFO tricking me to believe I saw a UFO.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Man, fuck
Yeah.
both of you guys. Fuck both
Is
of you.
is it any more unreasonable than Santa Claus being the wandering Jew?
Is it any less reasonable than Santa Claus being a thought form energy ghost?
Well, yeah, because I don't believe in that.
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you, you're a mortal wandering Jew going, hey, I should give out toys.
Hey, you know what, Kevin? Kevin,
What?
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, David. I
Merry
really do
Christmas.
appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Mike.
Merry Christmas, you old crazy savings and loan.
Merry Christmas savings and loan. So, we've got some questions now that we've talked about theories, and we've got like a whole. We're only at 49 minutes. This is great. We're making good time. So, we got some questions. First off, Man in Black, Eric Queen asked feelings on Krampus. Now, we've talked about Krampus, but what are our feelings on Krampus? David, I want to go with you first because you covered him in depth to some degree. What are your feelings toward this horny goat man?
I absolutely love the fact that this horny goat man exists and that he is becoming a aspect of contemporary Christmas culture.
Right.
I am all for the rise and the supremacy of Krampus.
I will say I am fully for the return of Krampus. I feel like, yes, we need a bad cop to our Santa good cop. I think that children need an actual alternative besides, oh, you'll get a lump of stuff that is useful in your stocking. Mike, how about you, buddy?
I don't know.
Like, in the sense of Krampus being reinstituted into the concept of Christmas.
I mean, I don't think Christmas needs a dark side.
Oh, fuck you. I think Christmas needs a dark
Christmas is
side.
all about-
Christmas does have a dark side, though, so I feel like there needs to be some sort of symbol for that.
Here's the dark side already of Christmas. Freaking capitalism.
Oh, shit, dude.
It's already got a
That's the
heel.
real killer.
Mike, you just punched me in the fucking stomach with that.
So, but Christmas should be all about light and hope.
I think it should be about light and hope with consequences.
No, that's the dark winter afterwards. That's all the consequences.
All right, that's fair. Well, we did ask your opinion, and we didn't, sign on to argue about that, so thank you for that. Now, we haven't...
What
What's
about
that?
you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, we totally need him back, just because I feel like we need consequences for Christmas. I feel like... And not consequences, I just feel like, be good... And Santa will bring you a toy. What happens if it's not good? Krampus will drag you off in a fucking basket and beat you.
You know what else?
What?
We need another costume for the Christmas orgy anyway, so...
You are right. I want to dress as the goat. Somebody else can dress as like the Sugar Plum Fairy, whatever. I'm just saying, okay, you're in the orgy. Do you want to? And you're dressed as a Sugar Plum Fairy. Do you want to be fucked as the fat man in red or the horny goat?
I don't
In
know.
an orgy.
Mike, you have to answer.
Well, there's got to be more than. Come on, surely there's a Frosty the Snowman.
Nope, the party has died down. There's only a guy dressed as Santa and a guy dressed as Krampus, and you're dressed as the Sugar Plum Fairy. Who
You're
you
the only
fucking?
3 left, man.
I guess it depends on which one's groomed better.
Oh, that's not fair. It's
mean-
obviously Santa.
Does he smell better?
Yeah, because
yeah.
Smells like cookies.
There
the
you go.
goat guy is gonna smell like a goat guy.
Yeah. No, thank you.
He's gonna smell like sage and like pine trees.
Yeah, but he knows how to fuck better.
Sam
almost
seems
spit
like
my
he'd be a good
Coca-Cola.
bottom.
Okay, we had another question from Ghost Forge. Moving on, asking if we're gonna cover the Yule Cat and Parkta. I don't know what Parkta is. But we did talk about next year we're going to cover more obscure traditions at Christmas. Let me look up what Parkta is. Or Perchta. As soon as I find the home row keys.
So, did you say Yule Cat?
I
Yes,
did.
the Yule Cat.
Okay. Is that? I hope that's not like the Yule log, and you don't set the cat on fire.
Oh, okay, Perchta, also commonly known as Parkt, and other variations, once known as goddess in Alpine paganism in the Upper German and Austrian regions of the Alps. Her name may mean the bright one. It's probably related with the Berchtentag, meaning the feast of the Epiphany. Jugendmacht provides an alternative etymology, attributing the origin of the name Parkta to the Old High German verb pargen, meaning hidden or covered.
This episode's been a little bit too Germanic for me.
It really has, should we be like Sieg Heiling or something?
no.
No.
Okay.
But
Anyway,
I do say that
it's highly related to Christmas and the winter solstice and paganism.
I would say, it's interesting though, you saying all that I didn't know that Klingon celebrated Christmas.
Pofla!
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
sounds
no,
like.
seriously. Yeah. So, we'll cover that next year for the next episode.
Okay.
So yeah, Yule Cat and Parkta. Let's see. I said we definitely plan on it, but we'll definitely get confused and look them up.
Yeah, because we're not familiar at all with that.
Now, Ghost Force says they're gory as hell and will love them, so we'll find out about that later. Yeah, you said you had your hands full with Krampus.
Yeah, I understand the context of that now.
Yes. Also put Pi Natal on the list for next year if SNL didn't make that up. And I said, well, if they did, we'll cover that in Hanukkah Harry. Which, on Heuschel, on Moischel, on Shlomo.
Apparently it's
Hanukkah
Portuguese.
Harry. What is?
Pi Natal.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's basically looks like on a Google search. It looks like Portuguese Santa Claus.
Oh, cool. We'll go into that next year. Let's see. Okay, Ghost Forge had a really good question that's unrelated, like, to the paranormal. Hang on. Before we go into hits, I just want to make sure we don't have any questions from the Goons.
Oh, no, not the Goons.
Oh, the Goons. Actually, we have no questions from the Goons, except we did get some subscribers out of me asking them if they had questions. So that's kind of cool. So thank you to... hang on. My brain is not working. Thank you to Dudercleese for subscribing. Dudercleese is awesome. Apparently, there's a
Yeah, I know him IRL. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, he from everything I've heard, he's an awesome dude, and there is a ritual known as the shaving of the Dudercleese.
Yeah.
So,
A Dragon Con tradition.
Dragon Con. So, Ghost Force said, what kind of family holiday traditions do you all have? Not generic like go to Christmas mass kind. He said, caroling is uncommon enough these days that I wouldn't call it generic. So let's start with Mike, our formerly Catholic friend. What Christmas traditions do you have?
Not.
I mean, I've lived with you for several years now.
So for my family, I mean, it's not probably out of the ordinary. I'm pretty sure it's probably a close to even split on who does and doesn't. But the only thing I can think of is that, like, the Santa Claus presents for us kids weren't wrapped. They were just like appeared under the tree, overnight. But they were usually just laid out, like I remember one year my dad like put the G.I. Joes out and they were kind of like in a little battle scene and
okay, that's
like
really
that.
awesome actually.
That's cool.
Or like the Nintendo. Well, we got the Nintendo, like, did we get it? I'm trying to remember. One of them we did get over Christmas. Maybe it was the Atari we got. It was like already hooked up to the TV, so you could just start playing right away.
Oh, that's cool because we had to hook mine up.
Yeah, so just stuff like that. So like, anything that was going to be under the tree before Christmas obviously was wrapped and everything. But I don't know if it was laziness or just I mean, for a lot of kids, especially boys' toys and kids' toys,
magic of Santa.
It kind of makes sense because a lot of them needed, assembly, like G.I. Joe vehicles. You had to like put them together and put the decals on. And he would, my dad, I'm assuming my dad, I don't know if my mom was quite, into that.
My dad was the same way.
They'd all be together and everything.
Yeah, see, my dad was the same way. There'd be some wrapped stuff under the tree occasionally, but like a lot of my big presents, like I remember you go in the living room and there'd be like all this unwrapped stuff on the couch. Like I remember one year I went in there, was like a giant Ronald McDonald doll with all this stuff you could do. And then like, even after my parents actually started wrapping stuff, my dad would like open the train sets and stuff like that and play with them.
But my parents, when they got me the Nintendo 64, I woke up Christmas morning and it was already plugged up and my dad playing Mario 64. So
cool.
that was a fun surprise. Oh, okay, cool. I got a Nintendo 64. How's it so far, Dad?
Yeah, my dad like hooked up the Atari 2600 and was playing Atari for days before I got it. So.
Yeah, our Atari was kind of the same way. We found several Atari cartridges under the coffee table, and my parents' excuse was that a friend of theirs brought it over, and they were playing it while we were asleep, and then they left, and they forgot the games. Turns out, no, they were our games, and they had just been messing with it.
See, I also had, like, my parents bought me, like, a bunch of Thunder. I had, like, let's just say it like this. I had a Thundercats Christmas one year.
You had an embarrassment of Thundercats.
An embarrassment of yes.
Just a litter of Thundercats.
Like, yes. Yeah. No, seriously, my parents gave birth to a litter of Thundercats, and they were all wrapped under the tree. But, like, on the couch, already assembled, was Cat's lair.
Yeah.
Like, this was, like, the equivalent of, like, the height of He-Man getting Castle Grayskull. Yeah.
I had Castle Grayskull.
Oh, yeah, you son of a bitch!
We never had Castle Grayskull, but Snake Mountain was that way. Come out and find Snake Mountain.
Yeah, because my dad put it together and was, like, playing with, like, it came with, like, a little thing you could put the bad guys on and shoot at Cat's lair, and it would, like, eject the guys out of the seat because it had like a life counter on the front of Cat's lair. So like my dad was sitting there my mom told me years later my dad would sit there and shoot at Cat's lair until it shot someone out of the pilot seat thing. I was like, I loved my dad. Like, that's all there is to it. He would like sit there and play with my toys before I got them. So, like, and my mom would be like, use quality testing. But, that was one of our traditions. But our big tradition, as far as family goes with me, we've had this thing for, like, Jesus Christ, like 4 or 5 generations, where the first person to wake up on Christmas Eve morning and say, Christmas Eve gift, gets to unwrap one present early.
Oh.
And, like, when mom was a kid, like in the early days, it was a fucking orange, whatever. But, like, you get to open, like, one present. And the thing is, my mom and her first cousin, my quote-unquote uncle, Vaden, they had this constant thing where they would try to one-up each other. But the problem is my Uncle Vaden worked for the post office, so he would get up, like, super early every morning. So, like, 1 a.m, phone rings. My mom picks up the phone, groggy, goes, hello, and he goes, Christmas Eve gift! Because they grew up together. So, like, they would always, like, compete to see who would get it. And then, like, I'll never forget being awake at like, 12:15 a.m. Christmas morning and hearing my mom in the front room dialing the phone and just hearing, Christmas Eve gift, I got you, you fucker! And it was great. So, yeah, that's our tradition. Is Christmas Eve gift. Whoever gets up says something, says Christmas Eve gift first, they get to open one present. So, it's just a little Heyman family tradition. My sister kept that alive with me, and I don't know. It's one of those things I would like to keep going if I can. Mm-hmm. How about you, David?
So I haven't had a traditional Christmas in a long time.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of any old traditions, but I am trying to I build new ones. So usually I have a Christmas movie that I'll put on. Like if something's in theaters, we'll go see that. Or, the other things around Christmas time, I like to rewatch the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh, that's fun.
It's like a Christmas movie for me. It's weird. It's not necessarily a Christmas movie, but it's kind of like that comforting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't really have a tradition I can really think about. We don't have, I guess, when I was a kid, the joke was always to take a present, make it nice and big, make it feel heavy, you would put, a brick in there and then a gift card.
Mike, why don't you tell them about some of the shit you pulled on me, you son of a bitch?
I've done several to Kevin like that.
Let's talk about the hard drives, motherfucker.
Oh, what was that gift?
I don't remember. It was like a gift. It was like a CD package that you made up.
Oh, it was probably like
it had something in it, and then at the bottom it said you'll find it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. So, but it was just a box with I think 4 just crashed hard drives, so they weren't worth anything. except
They weighed a ton.
Yeah, they weighed a ton. And there was the Legend of Zelda and the Bucket of Meat.
Yes. It said The Legend of Zelda and the Bucket of fucking meat.
Yeah, like did it on.
And when I opened it, out pops like a pop-up book version of Toad from Super Mario that says, "Thank you, but your present is in another package."
I forgot about that. Thank you.
That was great. I've still got that somewhere in my room, by the way. Because that was like one of my favorite things you've ever done.
But
the only thing that I recall like that, besides the bricks, was the other thing I would do is like with my mom, I'd always wrap the present in extra paper, so it took her at least a minute to get through all the paper.
Yeah, it's like box inside of a box wrapped in something else. Yeah, I've done that. Nested. What's the word I'm looking for? The Russian doll thing.
Matryoshka.
Matryoshka doll.
Yeah,
presents are awesome.
My wife is gesturing at me. I think she wants to say something. What are you saying, Holly?
Uh-oh.
Well, come here. You tell.
What is it, Holly?
My wife is jumping on.
Come here, Holly. You're going to be on here eventually.
I just heard him in the background, but we had a fun... I gave the prompt of a wrapping style that was unusual. So I got like books and comic books and layered them to look like a hamburger, like tied together. And
right, I remember that.
He got me something, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was, but it was wrapped in tissue paper, a Ziploc bag, duct tape, and then sunk in the bottom of a bucket of water. So, like, I had a cute little tissue paper cheeseburger under the tree, and he's like, "You have to go outside for your Christmas gift." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh, God.
He missed the assignment, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Oh, that was great.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was cold out there, too. I was very neat about that.
You ass. Oh, my God. That's great.
It's a novel way of rapping.
It's an asshole way of rapping. Holy shit.
Numb hands trying to get the frickin' duct tape off the plastic bag.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
One style of quote unquote rapping I've never got the gumption to try is the thing where you take like the long like bolts or threaded rod.
Oh, God.
And the two plates with a bunch of holes around the perimeter, so you put the gift in the middle and just like have basically nuts and bolts. Like one rod will have like 10 nuts on each end.
I've seen that.
So
and
you
it's
have
like
to
a
undo
bottle
like
of liquor in the center.
100 nuts just to get to the package. That would be hilarious.
Don't give me ideas. Don't give me ideas.
Fuck that. That's horrible. Mike, if you ever do that to me, you're moving out.
Don't worry, I'll do it with something like inconsequential in the middle, like a cheeseburger.
Oh, God. That'll be worse because I'll just throw it in the fucking backyard and let it rot and let squirrels eat it.
I promise never to do something like that with something important like a puppy.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. The present, let me tell you what the present was when it was the Legend of Zelda the bucket of meat and then the toad popping out. It was a fucking 3DS.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He bought me a 3DS with like Super Mario World.
That's right. I didn't
3D Land.
I didn't want to put like the actual present under the tree because it would be like obvious it was something important. So I just did, something that looked like basically a game case, a DVD case.
Yeah.
Because he had
in a
the
box
only thing
with hard drives.
The only thing you'd really asked for that year was like Skyward Sword or something like that.
I don't know what I asked for because I never got Skyward Sword, so it doesn't matter.
I think it was Skyward Sword, and that's why I did the bucket of meat.
You son of a bitch. I love you, Mike. So that's about it for this festive holiday season. I want to wish everyone listening a Merry Christmas. We have had a great time talking about Santa and his various accoutrements.
And his horny goat man.
Indeed, we had to talk about the horny goat man. So
That's not Torgo.
you can reach me at SupernatPod on Twitter and Facebook. You can find the podcast, of course, at supernaturalselectionpod.com or at supernatpod.rocks.
Like in my head.
Yes, the rocks in Mike's head. Mike, you can reach at Skeptical Mike at supernaturalselectionpod.com. David, how can they find you out there on the internet with your amazing art?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at HPKOMIC, and I do want to plug one thing.
What's that?
Over at Haunted MTL, we are doing a reading of Christmas Carol, and the first episode is up. I read Stave 1, which is Marley's Ghost.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So you can check that out. It's under the podcast as a Christmas Carol reading, Stave 1. I enjoy doing it quite a bit. So if you want some good old spooky Christmas adventures, go ahead and listen to that. It's to raise awareness for like local food banks and that sort of thing. So
Very cool.
Yep.
So that's where you can find David. And of course, we have our Patreon where once Christmas is over, we'll be posting more and more bonus stuff because we'll have more and more time to do that kind of stuff. And we hope you'll join us and help support the show. Keep it free. And you can make one-time donations at ko-fi.com/super. You know what? I'll find a link for it and post it. I'm tired. It's late. Friggin' podcast stuff. Find everything you need at supernatpod.rocks. And of course, thank you, as always, to DeviantBehaviorRadio.com for hosting us. If you're listening right now on there, it is Christmas Eve or the Sunday after, so Merry Christmas. And we hope you've enjoyed this little trip down the paranormal of Christmas. So, everybody, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
Oh, that's what it is. Damn, I fucked that up.
You fucked that up, Mike.
Damn it.